Hello everybody, it's Psycho Platters here, Paul Pease, along with my compadre here, Doug Fields, co-host also of Knights of the Round Turntable, coming back later this year. This is in response to Balding Boomer. Hey, we want to see your copy of the VJs introducing the Beatles. Yes, that's right. I wish I could tell you I've got one. I just got the cover. It turns out my actual real copy's up back in Illinois. Depressing. But if anybody's got a spare copy of the record only with the Ask Me Why Please Please Me, let me know. Comment in the box or PM me, please. So I'm bringing, like I said here, Doug Fields in on this one to give us a little bit of show and tell history in regards to the history of this album that I have really quick here. The first thing, Doug, what are you going to show us the first thing here that I think's of interest?
Okay. The first North American album went to Canada, not to America. This is it, Beatlemania. It went through Capitol Records of Canada, not Capitol Records of America.
See, that's pretty cool. Now, before you go, seriously, that is very, very cool. And of course, it mocks the Meet the Beatles. Just changed the title. So, here's the little backstory on all of this. I want to mention really quick before he gets to the next one here. Introducing the Beatles was the first Beatles LP released in the United States. Original release was supposed to be in July '63, but the LP didn't come out until January 10th of '64, 10 days before Meet the Beatles actually came out. It stalled at number 2 on the charts, but it stayed there for 9 consecutive weeks. Amidst legal battles, VJ was allowed to sell the album through late '64, by then selling 1.3 million copies. Now, a trivia note is this. VJ originally considered releasing this album that he's going to show you completely as a whole. Which is what?
This is the British Parlophone version of the Beatles' Please Please Me. This is the Beatles' first album.
And in that format, I love this thing, in that format, originally they were going to go off and stick all 14 songs. That's what the acetate, the only surviving acetate, showed. But due to the norm back in early '64, they trimmed it down to 12 and cut Please Please Me and Ask Me Why off the original pressings, which of course is where you get your first version of Love Me Do P.S. I Love You from. Now it says here, but like I said, with that, the engineer for the VJ LP mastering process also decided to cut the count in to I Saw Her Standing There, deeming it unnecessary. Now, when I Want to Hold Your Hand was released in late December '63, VJ had a quick meeting in trying to counter financial debts that the label had. The board decided to release the album, and be damned if legal issues were going to happen at all. The back cover originally was reproduction of 25 other VJ albums of interest. The second back cover was the blank back, which is very rare, and the third was the one everybody's used to, the 2 columns of songs down on the right. January 16th of '64, VJ got the restraining order issued due to having Love Me Do and P.S. I Love You, like I said. 80,000 copies of that particular version do exist, 2,000 of them being stereo as well. The second version's got Ask Me Why and Please Please Me, but that didn't hit the stores until early February '64. Why don't you show the versions of what you've got in your... He's got a bunch here,
okay,
folks.
What I'm showing you here, these are going to be the original pressings. There are some counterfeits out there, which I may get into a little later. The first one, well, of course, they will all have this cover. The first one...
It's a Beatle fan whistling. Continue.
Is the oval VJ, which everyone is pretty much accustomed to. And secondly, we have the black block VJ. No rainbow, nothing like this. Thirdly, we have, if I can try and get this out.
That didn't sound good.
Is the brackets label, of course, with the rainbow. And I've got 2 copies of that, so the third I'll not
Now, see, that's pretty dang cool. There's all these different variations of labels and stuff. But you know what? Very quickly, why stop there? VJ also went off after introducing the Beatles. They put out songs, pictures, and stories, which that one's been booted. I saw that back in the '80s. Show them the next album that you've got. This is what's cool.
Okay. First, I want to show.
Oh, sorry.
First, I wanted to tell you about the bootleg thing. This is one aspect of the bootleg. If you find a copy that says "Introducing the Beatles," and then the Beatles down here, separated by the spindle hole, it is a bootleg. It is counterfeit. It is worthless. Okay.
And that's good to know, because, well, I like you've probably found a ton of them over the years. Me too. So show them what you've got next, which is also in the VJ line using the same material.
Okay. The Beatles with Frank Ifield. This is technically the second copy of this. The original, well, they're both original. The first one shows the Beatles on here rather than the British gentleman.
See, and that's cool. I've never actually seen or touched a copy of this. I saw a Beatles group one once.
And this one also has the black block VJ. The Beatles and Frank Ifield on stage.
I'm trying to think. And then I think after that one, the only other one that came out was the Beatles versus Four Seasons, which, like I said, out of the 35 years I've been collecting, I have never seen a copy of that. Have you ever seen one?
I did one time, but it was financially beyond my means.
I'm trying to remember what viewer, when I responded to a different thread for Balding Broomer for this, said the same thing out in California. He said it was just ridiculously priced. I don't know. But listen, very quickly, guys, before we go off the air here, doesn't Doug deserve to have his own channel, his own VC channel? I'm telling you, his wealth of information is amazing. A lot of you people commented on my wealth of information. You know what? I got nothing on this guy. This guy here is like he graduated from the College of Rock and Roll Knowledge too, and his name, like I said, is Doug Fields, the co-host of Knights of the Round Turntable. Under the comments for this, will you do me a favor? Will you go off and suggest, hey, I think your idea is right. Doug, you ought to have a channel, because maybe enough of you out there, because there's almost 200 of you, my subscribers here. Right then and there, this guy deserves to do it. He deserves it. He should do it. He's been hemming and hawing. He needs to do it, right, guys? All right. Well, you know what, Balding Boomer? You know what? Thanks to Doug saving my behind and showing some great stuff. I hope everybody out there, including you and everybody else in the VC, got enjoyment out of this. So once again, from me and
myself and I.
It's so silly. You have a good one, guys. Take care. God bless. Rock on.